Everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm tying this wee perch fry, deer hair fry. So it's basically a dry fly, right, for targeting the fry feeders in the bigger still waters and reservoirs. It's a very, very effective fly, and this fly, although it's a bit more time consuming to tie, it is a much better taker of fish than the foam versions. Right, it floats in a more naturalistic way. The fish don't push it away as easy, they don't spook off it. It's a much better fly. As always, I'll put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for everybody that wants to support the channel, get access to the monthly tying classes, and be eligible for the giveaways. So I've got my hook and my vise. This is a size 4, it's a Tiemco 5263, but your own preferred, like 3x long streamer hook's fine. Size 2 probably is at the biggest end. If you go much bigger than a 2, the hook's too far to the rear of the fly. Size 2 at the top end, maybe down to an 8, 6 certainly. I'm just running some GSP thread, but you don't need to use GSP. I'm going to put a half hitch at the back. And I'll just get some head cement on here. For the tail, you need either marabou or rabbit. Right, for the perch fry I like orange. If I'm going for roach, I'll sort of mix orange and grey. Rabbit's a bit tougher, that's the only reason I'm using it, but I don't think it really matters that much. I've pinched off about 5mm of the zonker here, and I'm just going to catch that in. Makes it easy to control. 2 or 3 wraps. Come away the hide. Just tidy that up, get it tied in nice and secure. Part your thread back, and my tie-in point is right at the tie-in point of the tail is right in line with the barb. I'm parking my thread a millimetre in front, right? I'm leaving a small space so that when I spin my deer hair, the back ends will come to meet this and it'll marry in. We'll put a half hitch in. Really, you can really tighten it down with the GSP, which is handy. And then got to put a bit more varnish, a bit more head cement, just so that it soaks in. The GSP is very slick. I mean, that's well tied in, but it does no harm. And now the body's just spun here, right? I'm not going to pack it like I would a bass bug. I'm just going to come forward. No too tight, no too dense, not too heavy. White belly here, so I'll go here. Don't need to stack it, don't need to cut the tips around, and just get your bunch, get a decent sized bunch. And then, as always, you need to clean the rubbish chute. The cleaning is really the time consuming thing when you're tying with deer hair, but it does make a difference. I've said in several videos before, like, the people talk about you can't tie on a bed of thread. You can't spin here on a bed of thread. Now I've got a bed of thread all the way along this shank, and this will spin fine because I'm cleaning it properly. Just got to offer this in. As I said, you don't need to cut it or anything before. That's just a step that's unnecessary. 3 wraps, pull it tight. There you go, spun. I'm just going to get the tag ends that are caught in the hook barb, hook bend, and I'll just run my thread through a couple of times, pull everything up, got a couple of turns in front, and then to make these flies last, right, I mean, you're not really going to lose them because you're going to be fishing. Well, you might be fishing from the bank, but if you're fishing from the bank of the boat, but they're no, you don't lose them. You're not fishing them deep. You're fishing them on the surface. They're no snagging, and they take a wee while to tie. So you might as well just put a bit of another wee blob of varnish. Bring your thread forward a mil or two. Get another clump of deer here. I mean, it's just a case of repeating. It'll take you a few to get up, maybe 5 or 6 bunches, depending on the size of the hook. You know, like an 8 you'll do in 4, maybe 3. But these bigger hooks, you need to spend a wee bit longer to fill them up. But every bunch, open it out, brush the underfur away. The underfur is what cuts your thread, it's what stops it spinning. And you can see I'm not stacking this in any way. I'm just going to get it in. Get that first wrap in. Put it back a wee bit. 3 there. Spin and just follow it with the thread until it sort of tightens up and stops moving. Take that through the cut ends, sweep it back. And then, and again, get your varnish. Don't use super glue, by the way. The super glue kind of makes the hair brittle. If you're using like hard as nails or something that stays kind of pliable. Bring the thread forward slightly. I mean, you can push that back a wee bit, but don't compact it. Like, you're not tying a bass bug. You want to be able to squeeze this. I think one of the reasons this works so well compared to the foam fry is you can actually hold the back end in the water, squeeze it, knock some of the air out and let the water get in, and then the front end you put your grease on it and it sits at a nice angle like a wee stunned perch. But as I say, these are much better takers of fish than the foam fry. I'm not saying the foam fry won't catch you fish, but I've never seen a day where they're refusing this and eating the foam fry, but I've seen the other way several times. So, got another bunch, same again, just get it on. Run through the cut ends, get your thread in front. And then varnish again. Now I'm not going to make you watch all of this. I'll just cut to the finish basically. Just get a bit of cement on there. I'm going to get my last bunch of hair. Same every time. I mean, it's a repetitive process, this, but it is what it is. You need to, it's the only way to fill up the hook with the hair. Same as before, 3 turns, just put that tight, and just let it walk round for you. It does it on its own. And then, basically, I've got this. Sweep everything back, get a few wraps of thread in front so that the eye's clear. Again, because I'm not really packing the hair in here, it's no problem to just pull it back and quite finish, right? I mean, it's dense enough, but it's no solid. It's not trying to spring off the front like it would be when it's a bass bug. 2 whip finishes. Yeah, nice and tight, flex the hook. Get your varnish, your nail polish, whatever on there, head cement. Now it's just a case of trimming it to a small minnow shape. You'll notice I've left a wee dorsal on there. So a lot of people do that. I don't know that it really matters. Which side's it on? But what I like to do is always make sure they're on the same side. So the first thing, and I cut this with scissors, don't bother with a razor blade or anything. I get the belly flat. Because it's going to sit on its belly, which will be the side of the fish. Really, it's in the hook gap side. It rides like this, so it looks like a fish that's stunned on its side. And then I'm going to come in and just make my straight shape cut on the side that I don't have the fin. And if you're tying a roach fry, they don't have a big prominent dorsal, so you can just go around the whole fly. And I like to make the top side rounded so that if it lands the wrong way up, it will roll over. Whereas the underside I want flat so that it sits there. Well, the weight of the hook kills it anyway. It'll come in. Make a sort of straight cut, so I've got a shape like this. Now obviously that's too big. But it lets you sort of start to imagine the shape. And you can come in and just gradually narrow it down, just pare it down, coming along. And then you can see there it's kind of, once you get it to like this sort of sparseness you can see through, you can then lean the scissor against it and really sort of finalise what will be your body shape. And then you do the same in the top. I don't call that good. You know, eventually you're just trimming just for yourself, it's not for the fish in any way. And that's a wee bit rough, but it's fine, right? Even if you get them all lovely and smooth with the razor blade, you catch a couple of fish on it and it ends up like this anyway. So you need to colour it, obviously. And I like to use copic pens or pantone pens because they fade. right? Very small fry, especially perch like this. They're no the dark green of an adult, right? Like we see a perch and they're like dark green, right? Pictures of big ones, and then people try to copy that. But actually, they're a bit paler in colour. They're more sort of translucent when they're very small. So you want it like a Sharpie will just stain it too dark and it'll stay too dark. Whereas this, it'll be the olive copic. It will give you that sort of green look, that olivey green look, but if it sits on the fly for a couple of weeks before you fish it, you tie them now, right, and then it's probably end October when they start to come into their own. The inks had plenty of time to sort of stain the deer hair, and then any excess washes off within about an hour, and you get a right nice looking colour that's a very good match for the actual perch fry. And then, what was my black pen? Black pen or red pen? I'll put 3 wee stripes. Again, and you don't go nuts with your stripes. Let them be. Just, that's plenty, right? Just that suggestion of the stripe. Maybe a wee bit more on that one and that one. But that's enough. You see that that's only on the ends of the hair, really. It's not like worked right in. And I only do the underside. And then a wee gill. A wee bit of red. You put that right up the side like that. You don't need to be super fussy with these. And the last thing is to put an eye on. I think the eye does make a difference. I'm going to get a wee bit of gel super glue. Push it on there. And this is you just get an eye that suits. This is a 3.6mm tape eye, but obviously you'll just adjust the size. And then the reason for the gel super glue is you can sort of move it around. And you see what I mean? It's round on the back, kind of humped. This front end's a bit more buoyant. I can squeeze the back to get some water in it and have it, and then it fishes hanging like that, like a wee stunned fish. Now, to protect that eye, I just come in with a bit of head cement. Right, I've got some thick stuff here, and I just put a nice big glob over the top. And that, along with the super glue, will really help to keep that eye on. So there you go. I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up below. Hit the like button. It's all appreciated. Thanks guys. Bye.